How the heck are you, everybody? I am Fastidious. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to an updated guide on the hero Falcia. This is a limited fighter with dual faction membership in the Esoteria Order and the North Throne, and she is coming on Rerun Raid Up banner for the third time tomorrow. And it's the first time since her big buff, so definitely a good time to break her down and do an updated guide because the buff indeed was big. She went from middling, and I'd say definitively the worst limited, to a very strong fighter, especially for accounts that don't have like a full roster of fighters. She will be the best fighter on many people's rosters, depending on who they already have. She's top tier for a lot of stuff in terms of progression, and she's unbelievably versatile. In this video, I will also, if you're watching the day it comes out, share the redeem code I have in anticipation of the anniversary celebration. I want to apologize in advance. I thought I had until June 30th to release this. I'll explain it later, but I actually only have until today. So I'll get into that very shortly so you guys have it at the time of this video going live. You will have about 11 hours left to use this code. Before I share the code, though, I want to break down what the video will actually be. It's going to be fairly casual style. I'll do a full kit breakdown. You're going to see me fully skill up Falcia because I don't have access to the test server right now. So if you appreciate me investing my own main account resources, definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. And then I'm really excited to show off her build, make very good use of her exclusive artifact, which is her definitive best in slot artifact. We'll discuss this a lot. It's going to come for free as part of the Crawling Dark event that she's launching with when her banner goes live tomorrow. And then we're going to take her into Guild Boss 1 Nightmare 4 and really show off how good she can be, particularly with a new meta team. And this isn't with Nasty or anything like that. We've got my A0 Vorn, my A1 Numera. I think it will be pretty fun to see how this pretty unique combination tears into Nightmare 4 Guild Boss 1. I'll tell you right off the bat, she's going to be good in so much boss content now. If you get her right in a strong build with a lot of attack to take advantage of the true damage and then a lot of attack speed, this girl can absolutely cook. So let's get into this video right now. I'm going to start off with the redeem code so everyone has as much time as possible to use it and get their 100 free diamonds. And then we're going to break down Falcia. Let's go.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
All right, folks, redeem code. Again, I apologize for the confusion. You can see here, this is a message from our dev contact talking about the Smile 1 event running from June 19th to June 30th. Right after they sent me this, they sent me my code. I thought it was also June 19th to June 30th, but as you can see here, it's actually June 19th to the 25th of June 25th. So that's my mistake. I apologize. The code is supposed to be for people that actually go and support the creators and watch the videos, so definitely go watch the other creators' videos as well. You're going to have half a day to use it, so hopefully as many people as possible get to use it. And I guess while we're here, I will mention the Smile 1. I'll put the links in the description in the top pinned comment. They're doing a lot of deals right now, so even if you don't want to buy them in anticipation of Falcia and Beelzebub and Beatrix this weekend, we know the anniversary is coming, so it's a good time to load up on resources. Again, only spend if you were going to spend already. So the redeem code, you might have caught it already. It's going to be Fasti Realms. If you don't know how to put that in, click on your avatar, go to settings, go to this button right behind me. Sorry, I'm covering it. Redeem code, and you can put it in. It is not case sensitive. You could do Fasti Realms. You could do Fasti Realms. I don't know why I committed to this. There we go. It will work. It's not case sensitive, which is funny because like everything else in this game is case sensitive. But here you go. You can go to your mailbox and there are 100 diamantes, 100 diamantes for you guys. So go ahead and get them. You have until midnight California time, actually 1 hour after California time tonight. So when this video goes live, you will have about exactly 12 hours. Share with your friends, share the video link with friends, whatever you got to do. Let's talk about Falcia, and then let's get into this showcase. I'm pretty excited to do it. I actually built out the team, did some light testing based on placements, but I have not done the full run through, so I'm excited to do that with you guys. Let's actually start by skilling her up. Remember, if you appreciate this, please subscribe to the channel. It's going to be a big investment of my legendary skill crystals, which I will say, you can see I'm pretty good at stockpiling as I get deeper and deeper into the game. But it's not like I have every character max on skills. I'm pretty selective, so this is a bit of an investment. That's 10 right down the drain. but not actually down the drain because Falcia is pretty freaking good. Let's talk about her kit, and actually let's kick things off discussing her exclusive artifact. So Falcia is a limited hero. Historically, all the limited heroes come with a limited event, but the past 2 times they did not do that, right? We did not get a whole Anora event, or did we get a whole Anora event? I guess we did kind of get the whole Anora event, but not everything. But Wukong, we did not get any event, which was very disappointing. But for Falcia, we are getting the Crawling Dark event, which I'm bringing up because we are all guaranteed to get for free if we participate in the event. Falcia's exclusive artifact, the Lucent Flame, and this thing is definitively her best in slot. It's going to increase her damage. It starts at 20%. Every time you promote it, it goes up to 30%. But the really special stuff is everything after that first sentence, and none of that stuff changes with promotions. So as you promote it, you'll get a bigger single target damage boost, and you'll get a bigger flat stat contribution for HP and attack. But the really key thing that unlocks her abilities, that all comes at base promotion. So just the one copy, and that's all I have that you'll see in this video. I just have one copy of it. It's very, very effective. So it will extend the effect duration of Demon Slaying Stance, which is like the key mechanism in her kit, by 2 seconds. This takes it from lasting 12 seconds to 14 seconds. And then moreover, when she ults, it's called Shadow Slash, she will always and immediately enter the Demon Slaying Stance. That's really key because when she does Shadow Slash, if she's in Demon Slaying Stance, she does a lot more damage. Having this artifact, you don't have to worry about looking for the Demon Slaying Stance and timing it out. You know every time she ults, she will, before that, enter the Demon Slaying Stance as part of the artifact, and then you'll get the full benefit. So what are the full benefits? What is the Demon Slaying Stance? Blah, 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 blah. Let's go in and let's discuss her kit. Let's break it all down. So we'll begin with the talent. Every time she performs 6 basic attacks, she will enter the Demon Slaying Stance. Moreover, if you have her exclusive artifact, every single time she ults, she will enter the Demon Slaying Stance. This is a very key part of her kit because it just makes her much, much better. It lasts 12 seconds. With her artifact, this goes up to 14 seconds. And for the duration of that stance, she will increase her attack by 25%. That is pretty freaking significant. If we look at her base stats here, she's got 4564 base attack. So we're talking about an increase of like 1,125 base attack that gets added upon because it's scaling off the basic attack. 25% of that, it's a lot, right? We're over 1,100 additional attack. That is pretty dang clutch, and you can keep very, very, very good uptime on this. Additionally, while she is in the stance, every basic attack will deal an additional 200% true damage one time. She's already doing her basic attacks, we'll just discuss this now, which at max skill ups do nearly 100% damage physical and 100% damage magic to one enemy. This comes out to 190% damage total, making it the hardest single target, single hitting basic in the game. It isn't always functionally as strong as it might sound because, some units are going to be strong against physical, some strong against magic, and then, inversely weak to that. But if you have like a neutral, normal defense unit, she can really, really destroy them. And moreover, if she's in the Demon Slaying Stance, she's going to do that 190% damage, 95% of physical, 95% of magic, and she's just dropping on 200% true damage. This happens for every single basic attack in the stance, and she is in the stance far more than she is not. Moreover, when she ults, I told you there's a big benefit when she ults if she's in the Demon Slaying Stance, and the artifact guarantees that. She's going to deal an additional 5 hits of 300% true damage. So it's 300% of her attack. That's 1,500% true damage. So you're going to want to build a good amount of attack on her, and that's on top of what her ultimate already does. So let's discuss the ultimate now. Her ultimate is going to be 2 different quintuple hitters. There's the physical quintuple hitter, the 5x hitter, and the magic quintuple hitter, the 5x hitter. So in total, you're getting 10 hits, and each one is of 200%. 5 of those 200% hits are going to be physical damage. 5 will be magic damage. It comes out to a total of 1,000% physical damage, 1,000% magic damage. That's 2,000 total. Plus, if she's in the Demon Slaying Stance, which she will be because you will run her with her exclusive artifact, the Lucent Flame, that's an additional 1,500% true damage. Right? She's having the 5 hits of 300% true damage. We're talking 250% damage, 1,000 of which is physical, 1,000 of which is magic, and 1,500 of which is true damage. It is a lot of damage. She's also, when she's in that stance, having the attack boost, and it gets even stronger. So if we go over here to the passive, when she deals damage, she deals extra damage, which is equal to 20% of her shield strength. You're probably asking, how do you get a shield on her? It's 20% of her shield strength. This comes with skill ups. She, of course, does have dual faction membership in North Throne. So it's not just Esoteria Order where you're going to see her featured today. She also has North Throne. So she goes very well with King Hearts or Isolde or even Rourke. But she's really, really good with Elder, who should be getting a buff next month, which is pretty exciting. I really hope it's a good buff. The Demi buff was solid. I hope the Elder buff is very good. We'll head over here. But yeah, you can get shields from, a Gwendolyn if you're lucky enough to have her. Maybe they'll rerun her soon. From a Vortex, from an Isolde, from any of those lords, right? You can get it from the Lord skill with Rourke, with Elder, with King Hearts. But then she's kind of reliant. And then what happens if you're running her as an Esoteria Order unit? Well, she can give herself a shield, and she really keeps the uptime on this in a very nice way. When she's under the demon slaying stance, which, as we're going to discuss, we've kind of touched on, but we'll discuss in very strong detail in one moment, she is going to have crazy uptime on shields because, she's in it for 12 seconds, 14 seconds with the artifact, and she can go in and out of it, or really go into it, and then she stays in it for a while. But when she goes out of it, she can go back into it very, very quickly. She gets a shield of 15%, and it lasts for 7 seconds. But every basic attack during the 14-second demon slaying stance is going to refresh that shield. So unless there's enemies constantly breaking it off, she's going to get crazy uptime, basically for the duration of the demon slaying stance. And that's not counting other ways you can give her shields through Northerner units and Northerner lords. So what is the key final thing? It comes down to the last part of the talent, which I saved for last, because this is the key thing I think people overlook in Falcia's kit that takes her to a whole nother level. She gains specialized attack speed. So this is something that Voroth has, that Sargok has, that Demi has. Essentially, a unit with specialized attack speed affects them in a more dramatic, significant way than it affects the average hero. So for the average hero, 10 attack speed lowered the attack interval by this much. For a specialized attack speed, it would be this much, which over a lot of attack speed really, really, really adds up. It provides a greater reduction in the basic attack interval. So Falcia, if we go in over here, like many, many fighters in this game, has a base attack interval of 2.6 seconds. However, by building some attack speed on her, you can get this thing insanely low. So even though I only added 513 additional attack speed, obviously that's a ton, but for a normal 2.6 second base attack interval unit, that would bring them down to about 1.2 seconds on the base attack interval. For Falcia, it brings her all the way down to 0.7 seconds. So now let's do some math and let's talk about the demon slaying stance. You can make really, really, really good effect of this if you get her very speedy. My Falcia, at just about a 0.7 second attack interval, she can get 6 basic attacks off in about 4.2 seconds, but sometimes those attacks will come not after, when she's coming out of the stance. It might happen after only 0.1 seconds since the last one, 0.2. You have the hit at the end of the stance and the hit coming out of it. What do I mean? Let's say her last hit while in the stance was 0.3 seconds before the stance ended. That means she'd only have to wait 0.4 seconds until her first hit outside the stance. For this reason, on average, she's gonna only be out of her demon slaying stance for about 4 seconds, 3.8 to 4.2 seconds, something like that, with a 0.7 second attack interval, because that's how long it will take to get the 6 attacks off. So it's pretty impressive. She has a crazy uptime on it. She has crazy DPS when it's happening. So if you build her right, you can take very, very good advantage of this. Now let's talk about it. How do you build her right? Well, first things first, of course, you want the Lucent Flame on her. You can all get it for free. Previously, her last 2 events, they did not make this available because the artifact did not exist, so I did not have it. I was very lucky prepping for this video. Like I said, I don't have access to the test server right now, so I had to summon and try to get this. I had 50 forges, so 5 10-bulls that I could do in the Titan Forge, and wouldn't you know it, they really wanted me to make this guide today. I pulled her on my second 10-pull. I did the math. There was a 3% chance of this happening. On average, I would hit about 1 exclusive artifact, and then there's 32 different melee units in the game with exclusive artifacts, but I only hit 1, and it was Falcia, so I'm able to show her off for you guys today. First part of her build, please get this on her. I can't overstate how strong it is having the extra 2 seconds at the end of the demon slaying stance and having the instant kind of in concert trigger of the ultimate with her entering the stance. It makes everything easier, everything stronger. After that, there's a couple things you need to know. For the right side, often I'm like, it depends on content. What stats you want to hunt on your main stats. It does not depend on content. She does a ton of true damage, which is pure damage that fully ignores all the defense and all the magic resistance of the target. But the other stipulation with true damage is it cannot crit. So of course you want some amount of crit damage on her. However, attack is more important because true damage is only scaling with her attack. Also, because she has specialized attack speed and you need her going very, very fast, you absolutely want attack speed on the amulet. So on the bangle and on the ring, without question, you want attack bonus as the main stat, and on the amulet, you want attack speed. So it should go attack bonus, attack speed, attack bonus. All right? Yes, you can get crit damage in other ways in the substats. You'll see here, I even did crit damage through the set with my Wicked Vengeance set, which has a attack bonus contribution and a crit damage contribution with the stats. If you have Amazing Warlord, you can certainly do that. That'd be really good. You get more attack speed, you get more attack. The reason I went for this is because I don't have perfect quad rolls, obviously, on my Warlord, not until Maurik comes out with the crazy enhancement gems and transmutation gems and blah, 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 blah. But here, I do have 2 amazing Wicked Vengeance pieces. You can see attack bonus, crit rate, attack speed, crit damage, and then the same story, attack bonus, attack speed, crit rate, crit damage. I had to re-roll these ones a lot. They're very powerful on my account. If you don't have gear like this, absolutely run her in Warlord. You want to lean heavy into the attack, heavy into the attack speed. After that, make sure she is crit capped. Finally, after that, you can do crit damage. And also, if you can pick up a little rage regen, that is nice. Keep in mind, though, she's so fast. She does rage cycle and ult cycle pretty quickly. My total build on her, this is a pretty endgame build. I got her at 17,500 attack. HP and defense are fine. We don't need it for this content. You know, if this was something like APOC 2, maybe I'd try to lean a little harder and get her to like 30k on the HP, at least for now. But no, for where we're at right now, this is plenty. She's at a 0.7 second attack interval, 613 attack speed. You can see how dramatically that attack speed is affecting this decrease in the attack interval. We're getting 1.8 seconds taken off of the initial base attack interval. She's at nearly 350% crit damage, 348%. She is crit capped, a bit of overkill there that we didn't need, and then 28% rage regen. It's quite the build. It should be really nice for this demonstration, and I really think we're going to shut up a lot of people that are saying, like, she's not good. Like, is she as good as A5 Kagiri for almost all content? No. But could she be better than A5 Kagiri for new content that could come? Yes. And is she already extremely good and better than most fighters in the game? Without a doubt. You can make the evaluation if you want to pull for her, given everything else they're throwing at us right now. But just remember, if you're the kind of person that always complains that I'm never getting characters on the banner, oh my God, the rates suck, this is a guarantee. She's a limited guaranteed unit. At the time of filming this, the guarantee stands at 200. So maximum, it will take you 200 summons to get her. I think not going for her if you don't have her is a big mistake. I really, really do, unless you're extremely strapped for resources. The final thing before we get into the content is going to be Awakenings. This is a big thing, especially if you're deciding whether to summon for her if you already have her. Her A3 is amazing. For every 100 attack speed, not additional, just total attack speed, you will get a damage increase on all of her damage by 8%. So with the current build I have at 613 attack speed, that would be 6 different stacks of 100 attack speed. So I'd get 6 different stacks of the 8% damage boost. That is a 48% damage boost. That is nearly a 50% damage boost. That is so much. Really crazy builds might even get her to 700, but I'd say the average player will get her to 500 attack speed or 600 attack speed. So you're talking a 40% damage boost or a 48% damage boost. This is so much. However, it requires getting her to A3. And I will say it's hard to advise people to pull for multiple copies. And at the time of filming this with the content we have in the game, it is very, very hard, nigh impossible for me as a content creator to suggest you should put unpolished soul stones into her. I think that would be very foolish. Who knows? Maybe new content will come out and you're going to want this A3 because it is insane. But yeah, most people have no Falcia or just 1 copy, so no Awakenings. How can you justify pulling for 3 or 4 copies? The A1 I will pull for just because it's a step in the direction towards the A3, but it's not as good as it sounds. She has a big boy damage reduction. It lasts for a very long time, a 15-second damage reduction, minus 30%. However, it is tied to the ultimate. The uptime on this comes out to about 40% uptime, 50% uptime. You can time it out for certain content, but all in all, it's not enough uptime and it's not reliable enough, I think, to feel that significant. It's a great additional thing for certain content. But if she's going to be like your damage reduction hero, like the way you'd use a Numera, the way you would use, oh my God, what's another great example? Alistair or Init or Volca, it's tough. If you're using her with Volca, they could come together to be like 100% uptime, but it's not going to compare to someone like Init or Alistair or Numera or Phineas with his exclusive artifact. So for that reason, I think this is somewhat negligible. The A2 is cool, not cool enough. It's plus 5% attack. I really wish this was plus 300. Plus 5% here when she's got like 4,500 comes out to like 225 attack. Why not just make it plus 300, whatever. The A3 is completely tremendous. The A4 plus 8% crit rate will help with your build. Doesn't matter much. And then the A5, when she's shielded, her damage taken is reduced. There's no content in the game right now where I would find that a significant awakening at all. So the A1 is a nice little supplemental thing, but she can't carry it alone. If I was the devs, I would rework this. That would be like, when shielded, she places damage reduction on every single basic. Or when she's in the demon slaying stance, all of her basics do damage reduction. That would be much, much better uptime. Then it would be, I mean, even if this was a 5 seconds or 6 seconds duration, it would be 100% uptime. That would be huge. But the way it stands now, it's just not enough. The A2 is fine, and then the A3 is monumentally good. But it takes a lot to get there, and I would not suggest at this time building her out for that and pulling for that and using soul stones for that. So there we have it. I'll quickly show you some builds of the other characters. They're all in very good builds. Numera's in my second best gear here. We're going attack bonus, crit damage. That will be the theme for most of these guys. She's got some of my other really good Wicked Vengeance stuff. I'll scroll through the stats if you want to pause. I want to, also my Numera's A1, so she's going to have a damage boost on her ultimate. And the guaranteed crits don't matter. But yeah, this will be a nice little comparison, I think. I would expect Numera to do better because she's A1, but you never know. I really don't know. We got my Lucius over here. He's in some good Infernal Roar and some Warlord. I'll scroll through this very slowly so you can see. I also have a Kagiri I'm excited to show you, who's a good comparison to Falcia. Here's an A0 Kagiri, also in very good gear, and you're really going to see Kagiri's cool, but not nearly that cool if he's not A3+. Pretty good gear, though. You can see those stats. Similar theming. He's in a max out exclusive. That's so that he has that leg up on Falcia there. His exclusive's also his best in slot. Now, I think I just have to show you Vorn. I think that's our last. Oh, Vorn and Vixera. So here's Vorn and some Infernal Roar. Same kind of story. Attack bonus, crit damage. He got Warlord just like Lucius, so we'll have a little comparison. I will say my Vorn is A0 and my Lucius is A5. So that will be an interesting thing to see. There we go. And then finally, who else am I missing? Just Vixera. I'm also realizing as I say this that Vorn's boost is only going to go to 2 of our units, and it's going to go to Kagiri and to Numera. So that will give them an additional leg up on Falcia. But we're going to leave it as is because I think it is what it is. This is, if I was to build the team, this is how I would have built it. So you can only control it so much. Here is going to be my Vixera. You can see she's in some pretty good gear. Soulbound Arcana and Warlord. You really get the theme now. Here are the total stats if you want to pause it. I'm not going to show you all my supports. It really doesn't matter. So we have our 3 inspiration units. Those are Hollow, Diao-Chan, and Leia. I'm not even going to deploy Rex. He's just here. I picked a random Watchguard unit, so we'd have the 5-person Watchguard bonus from Leia. It increases as you have more faction team members. The more faction allies are on the team, the more frequently the stuff happens. So he's just there, but he won't get deployed. And with those 3 inspiration boosts, we're just going to boost our 3 fighters. So it'll be Numera, it will be Kagiri, and it will be Falcia. No one is in Wings of Grace. They're all in Invigoration to make it more fair. Let's head into it. Let's get this done. Also, I realized I showed you the Vixera build, but I was being stupid, and I can't deploy a 9th person, so Vixera, we're just not going to put her out. So we're not going to get that fully formed Poisoner comp. Now that I say it, though, it's like we could just leave Leia at home. You know what? We will leave Leia at home. So Leia won't get deployed. Vixera will. And then I do have, in case we needed it, I did put Invig on Rex. So we'll use that to get our 3rd Invig out. So this way we actually do get Vixera done. All right, let's head into battle. Make myself a lot smaller so you can see everything better. And let's go, baby. First up, we got Falcia. She can go here. Then we will do Diao-Chan over here. We'll do Numera right here, and she'll get Invig from Hollow. Finally, we got Kagiri. And then here we'll use Rex. It won't let me click on him. There's Rex. Okay, he's up. And now we can just put all of our platform DPS down. So we got Vorn, we got Lucius, and we got Vixera. Let's switch Diao Chan, and as soon as she turns black, we can just start ulting and have ourselves a good time. Unfortunately there, I thought the dragon was still attacking Kagiri. So he doesn't get the Ember Strike. But yeah, we'll just get settled in. I'll never ult with Lucius because he's, for DPS mode, you just want him to keep going to the demon slaying stance. And yeah, that'll be it, guys. So I'll probably put this on about 3x speed. You can watch along or just skip ahead, and we'll see all our nice results at the end. Catch you there. All right, we're coming up on the end here. Shaking out pretty much as I expected. I mean, Numera is so geared for this. She's so OP, and she just fits into this comp perfectly. But I mean, look at Falcia. She's putting up nearly 80% of Numera's DPS. I think that's really, really good, considering Numera's in a maxed out artifact. Numera's at A1, and she has this whole Poisoner synergy really built for her. As I do these explosions with Vorn and everything like that. I will say Kagiri's really bad in this content when you do not have him A3 or higher. That being said, I'm continually struggling to trigger his Ember Strike. It does not line up here nearly as well as it does in Abyss 1. But I mean, look at that, right? Kind of wish now that I brought Ein instead of Leia, so we had all epic lords. But I think pretty dang good. Big shout out to Numera, who's outperforming an A5 Lucius, which is pretty freaking remarkable in my opinion. But Falcia, I think she's right there, an A0 unit coming in at, what is this, about 76%, 77% of Numera, coming in at something like 85% of Lucius. I think it's really respectable, well ahead of my A0 Vorn. I mean, that's a nice comparison. Like, she's, without a doubt, much better than A0 Kagiri. I'd say even if I had timed him perfectly, we're talking maximum 90 million, maybe 92, something like that. So she blows him out of the water. He's at like 66 to 75% of her DPS. And then she probably would be right around where an A0 Wukong is. Maybe she's a little bit better, I would say. So, yeah. If you have everything in the world, if you have every awakening, absolutely. Like if you already have an A3 Kagiri, A3 Wukong, you don't need to be dying for her and certainly dying for awakenings. But if she's this good in content that she's kind of suboptimally positioned for, if she's still this dominant, imagine if they add that new piece of content where you need both types of damage from one unit, right? That's her thing. She's a hybrid damage dealer, and she's got so much true damage. So yeah, for Guild Boss 2, for Semra, she's phenomenal there. And all in all, there we have it. I think a pretty nice showcase of why people who say Falsia sucks are misinformed. That's a nice way to put it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. This video took a while to make, so if you appreciate it, consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, whatever the heck, in the comment section below. Remember, that code is going to be Fasti Realms. Go get your 100 free diamonds. You've got about exactly 11 or 12 hours. Thank you. Share it with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.